Yeah, guys, now we can see the chapter 2, auditing strategy, audit planning, and audit program. Here, the first test your understanding is about the elements of planning. Yeah, come on, let's dive into that. Here, MG and Co, a firm of auditors having a standing experience of 30 years, is appointed as a statutory auditor of the company engaged in manufacturing of defense equipment. Due to opening of defense sector by government to private players in recent times, many new companies have entered the fray to manufacture the sophisticated defense equipment. Considering technical complex and nature of operations, the auditor recognizes the involvement of expert in audit is required. This consideration for involvement of expert is comes under the domain of planning and audit. This is the question. Now we should consider that consider the here they clearly asking whether this involvement of expert comes under the audit planning. This is the question. Yes, it is comes under the audit plan. Okay, let's elaborate upon it. The audit requires the involvement of expert. The nature of the industry and the nature of the company in which it operates is very complex, so they raise a requirement to involvement of expert, and the involvement of expert should be documented, and the involvement of expert should be planned in the planning phase of the audit itself. So this is the answer, guys. Okay, let's consider the answers of a book bag. Consideration for involvement by auditor falls within the domain of planning. Okay, they are also saying the same thing. While planning an audit, auditor would have to consider whether involvement of expert is necessary. In this stated case, company is involved in technical and complex operations. Therefore, while planning an audit, auditor would have to consider whether involvement of expert is necessary. Hmm. Okay. Then test your understanding too. CA Karthik is planning for audit of a company engaged in manufacturing of cosmetics. Considering nature of operations of the company, he had planned to include test of controls of the company over purchases, sales, and inventories. Okay, let's dive into the next question. Test your understanding too. CA Karthik is planning for audit of a company engaged in manufacturing of cosmetics. Considering nature of operations of the company, he had planned to include testing of controls of the company over purchases, sales, and inventories. One fine day, he reaches the corporate office and asks for manuals and required documents to ensure surprise elements in testing. He had never shared with management his intention to carry out above procedures. Okay, here CA Karthik takes an initiative and goes without informing the management to check the accounts, office accounts and manuals. Here, all the thing CA Karthik is done right only, but he wanted to inform the management about his arrivals, so that the audit can be carried out in an effective way. He cannot he is not necessary to tell all those things with the lower level management, but the higher level management should be known of all those things. They should be made aware, because telling them will not compromise the effectiveness of audit. This is the main thing. So the approach of CA Karthik is not proper. He should inform the management about his arrival and surprise checking, so there will not be any compromise in the audit. Okay, let's discuss upon the book back answers. In the case, CA Karthik has reached office of the company without sharing with management his intention to test the controls. The auditor may decide to discuss elements of planning with the entity's management to facilitate the conduct and management of the audit engagement. We need to discuss the element audit without compromising effectiveness of audit. He may clearly see that the auditor may decide to discuss elements of planning with the entity's management to facilitate the conduct and the management of the audit engagement without compromising the effectiveness of audit. Sharing details of visit to test control does not compromise the effectiveness of audit. It is for the better facilitation and conduct of audit. Okay. So therefore the approach of C. Karthik is not proper. Then test your understanding 3. Now we shall dive into the third one. CA Mary, while planning the audit of a company, feels that she would inquire from in-house legal counsel of the company status of pending litigation matters against the company, identify and assess risk of material misstatements. Considering above description, are you able to identify the set procedures where these identified procedures are included in planning in accordance with CA 300? Here, these are planned risk assessment procedures to identify and assess the risks of material misstatements. Uh, yes, in the book back answers, uh, uh, here CA Mary uh, he wanted to know the status of pending litigation and what type of procedure it is in accordance with SCA 300. Yes, the identification of material litigation status should be necessarily updated in the planning state itself. So okay, so okay, let's consider the book back answers. These are planned risk assessment procedures to identify and assess the risks of material misstatements. Okay, these are planned risk assessment procedures to identify and assess the risks of material misstatements. The objective of planned inquiry of in-house legal counsel is to identify and assess the risks of material misstatements. Such planned risk assessment procedures are included in audit plan in accordance with SCA 300. Such planned risk assessment procedures are included in accordance with included in plan in audit plan in accordance with SCA 300. Definitely, it is a inquiry of in-house legal counsel, right? Okay, then test your understanding 4. CA Shobunu is a statutory auditor of a social media company. Due to changes in information technology regulation by government, it has become mandatory for such companies to constitute grievance redressal mechanism for users of social media platform of the company. Failure to comply with the regulation can potentially lead to civil and criminal liabilities against the company. These above factors to be considered by auditor while framing the audit strategy. Okay. Here, uh, the company is in a position to constitute a grievance redressal mechanism, and the auditor is in a position to check whether the company is implemented the grievance redressal mechanism, as it is one of the legal regulatory requirement that the company should be followed, right? So failure to comply with such regulations can potentially lead to civil and many criminal liabilities against the company. The question is asking is above factors to considered by auditor while framing the audit. Definitely, the auditor should consider all these things while drafting an audit strategy. So let's dive into the book backs answers. Changes in laws and regulations affecting the company is a factor to be considered while establishing overall audit strategy. There has been a change in information technology regulations applicable to the company. Non-compliances of the same can have an implication in form of civil and criminal liabilities, and the if the company is not complied all those things means it should be given as a report to the users of the understand users of the users, so that they can understand in the things in such a great perspective. And such an important matter concerning changes in laws and regulations is to be considered by the auditor while drafting while establishing overall audit strategy. This is an important matter to be seen, guys. And test your understanding 5. Here, test your understanding 5. Rohit undergoing practical training is part of engagement team conducting audit of a company engaged in manufacturing of paints. He has been provided with audit program pertaining to sales. It lists out various it, it lists out various items to be checked and verified by him, including invoices, rate list, posting in debtors account, correlation of invoices with e-way bills on sample basis, etc. During verification, he notices that many e-way bills have been cancelled by the company within 24 hours of their generations. In the month of March, there is no specific instructions in this regard. He keeps mum. His attitude of Rohit is not proper. Is proper? No, the attitude of Rohit is not proper. Rohit should consult with his seniors, and he should he should inform all those matters in to the engagement partner, so that he can extend the audit, or he will adopt further audit procedures. So it must be uh, so it must be seen. So it is an important matter. Rohit should discuss it with their seniors, so that they can adopt they can make other audit procedures as per their requirements. And okay, let's see the book bags. Attitude of Rohit is not proper. The assistants should observe matters objectively and bring significant matters to the notice of supervisors, principals. Reasons for cancellation of many e-way bills in the month of March. Okay. Should observe the masters objectively. They are the persons who are doing audit, so they should observe it objectively and bring significant matters to the notice of the supervisors or the principals. And need to be in these all those cancelled bids need to be looked upon, and matters should be informed to the engagement partner. So the attitude of Rohit is not proper. He should be very uh, professional. Uh, he should carry his professional skepticism along with this. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching, and I hope all these things worked out well. Thanks.